Hey everyone, welcome back to Character Canvas. Today we are going to talk about Steve Jobs. He was the man behind Apple, the company that made the iPhone, iPad and Mac computers. Let's learn about his life and why he was so important. Let's get started. Steve Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 in San Francisco, California. He was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs. Steve grew up in Silicon Valley, a place where a lot of new technology was being created. Even as a kid, Steve loved electronics. He went to Reed College in Oregon, but he dropped out after 6 months. He stayed around the college to take classes he liked, like calligraphy. In 1976, Steve Jobs started Apple with his friend Steve Wozniak. They worked in Steve's parents' garage. Their first computer was called the Apple I. It was simple, but it got people excited about personal computers. Their next computer, the Apple II, was very successful and made Apple a big company.
Susan, you're an icon designer, among other things, and have you learned something from the experience on Lisa as to the effectiveness of icons, how to use them, and how they fit in?
Well, certainly, I think one of the best experiences is seeing a person who's never used a Lisa before or a Mac before, and even never used a computer before. It is possible, easily possible, to teach most people to use one of these computers in about 20 minutes. And a lot of that is because you can explain what an icon means, and a person can remember it easily. So we certainly use Lisa as a jumping off point and making just some refinements and additions for some new features.
Okay, you're
In 1984, Apple released the Macintosh. The computer was special because it was easy to use. It had a mouse and icons you could click on. This made computers more accessible to everyone. But soon after, Steve had problems with other leaders at Apple, and in 1985 he left the company. After leaving Apple, Steve started a new company called Next. They made powerful computers, but they were too expensive for most people. At the same time, Steve bought a small animation studio that later became Pixar. Pixar made the first fully computer animated movie, Toy Story, in 1995. This movie was a huge hit. In 1997, Apple bought Next and Steve Jobs came back to the company. He helped Apple become successful again. In 1998, they released the iMac, a colorful and stylish computer that was very popular. Steve's ideas and leadership helped turn Apple around.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Steve Jobs Theater. Available on November 1st, and thank you, and we'll be adding more.
You would expect great cameras, sensors, and ultra-fast wireless, all packed into a thin and light design that's durable and weighs about a pound. And for the very first time, our enclosure is made from 100% recycled aluminum. Under the hood of this iPad is the A10 Fusion chip. This new iPad will start
Innovative new display that is always on. You'll always be able to see your time and complications. A wrist raise or a tap brings everything back to full brightness. It all starts with the industry's only low-temperature polysilicon and oxide display, or LTPO. LTPO allows the display to refresh dynamically.
Steve Jobs and Apple kept making great products. In 2001, they released the iPod, which changed how we listen to music. Then in 2007, Apple launched the iPhone. The iPhone was a phone, music player, and internet device all in one. It was a big success. In 2010, they introduced the iPad, which was like a big iPhone and very useful for many things.
If you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle.
Steve Jobs was known for being very demanding. He wanted everything to be perfect and simple. He believed that good design was just as important as how things worked. He pushed his team to create amazing products. One of his famous quotes is, "Stay hungry, stay foolish," which means always keep learning and trying new things. In 2004, Steve found out he had a rare type of cancer. Even though he was sick, he kept working and creating new products. Sadly, Steve Jobs passed away on 5th October 2011. People all over the world were very sad. He left a huge impact on technology and how we live our lives. Steve Jobs changed the world with his ideas and products. He made technology easy to use and beautiful. The iPhone, iPad, and Mac computers are just a few examples of his influence. His work continues to inspire people everywhere. Steve Jobs' story shows us the power of creativity and determination. He never gave up on his vision and he changed the world because of it. If you enjoyed learning about Steve Jobs, please like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.